So for today's video, I will be interviewing Sonix, who is currently ranked number 12 for Ultimate on the PGR North American rankings. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe if you like the video, and also let me know in the comments who you'd like to see me interview next. But yeah, let's get into the video. What is up, guys? I have with me Sonix, who is the newly crowned number 12 in PGR?
Number 12.
Number 12.
Correct.
That is crazy. Yeah, and you're also the best player from the Dominican Republic. To start off, I want to ask, how did you come up with the name Sonix?
So, as a kid, I was one of those wannabe edgy kids. You know, I wasn't actually edgy. Matter of fact, actual edgy stuff scared me. But I did try to be as edgy as I could in like my own area, so in my own way. So when I was a kid, I wanted to take the username X, Dark Sonic X, for pretty much every online game I played. So Roblox, Maple Story, Combat Arms, if you know that game, you know, you name it. I would try to take that game for every game. There were certain games that it was taking. So I was like, so I replaced the C in Sonic for an X, and because I wanted to be dark, and I was like, it's kind of cool, Dark Sonix. And then all my friends followed along, and they would make their own tags, like just their regular tags. They would change it with an X in the end, and then I was like, you know, it was like our little thing. So it kind of stuck with me ever since. That being said, fun fact, my first tag ever for Smash was not Sonix. It was actually Chronic, which some people think is better, some people think it's worse. I know, it's still Chronic and Chronic the Sonic.
Wait. Was it Chronic with an X, or was it just regular Chronic?
It was just regularly Chronic. And then I changed it to Sonic 2G, which stood for Sonic 2 Good. And I went Cloud that tournament. Until I finally, after that one Cloud tournament, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just stick with Sonix, because people online knew me as Sonix, and like Anther's Ladder on the Wi-Fi days. So I was like, you know what? I kind of like Sonix. I just stuck with Sonix. Okay.
I definitely wouldn't have expected that you had the tag Chronic, but I'm definitely glad you changed it to Sonix. I think that definitely, it's like easier to search and not get that mixed up with anything. I guess my next question is, did you initially start in Smash 4 or did you start in Ultimate?
I actually started in Smash 4. I started around late 2016, 3DS, and then I bought a Wii U early 2017, and that's when I started like actually grinding the Wii U game and, you know, getting into the scene and going to tournaments and participating and stuff.
I'm guessing you main Sonic in Smash 4 and then Cloud came out and then you switched to Cloud?
No, so actually by the time I already got into the game, Cloud was out. It was more so a matter of, I made Sonic, but I sucked with him. I was really, really bad. I remember everybody was like, oh, just get up on Cloud. Like, everybody kept telling me, like, Cloud is really good. Cloud's easy, too. Like, if you're losing, just pick up Cloud. And I saw Music King made a Cloud guide video. So I was like, you know what? Maybe this is a sign. So I tried picking up Cloud, and then I went Cloud in my first tournament. I won one set. I think I went 2-2, but it was 2-2 because of a DQ, so I only won one set. So I technically went 1-2. And then I remember on my last set in Losers, I started off with Cloud, and I got destroyed. It was this villager. I got destroyed, and then I switched to Sonic. And from there, I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, I don't think Cloud's for me. Like, I would kind of dabble with the broken characters back then in the game. Like, I tried playing Luigi, I tried playing Ness, Zero Suit, Sheik, Diddy, simply because they looked cool, and I was like, every top player does this, so I tried the same thing. But at the end of the day, I would always come back to Sonic and try to practice getting better at Sonic.
So I'm guessing you're just like you're a super diehard Sonic fan because of your tags. Do you think you would play Sonic competitively if he was not good? Brawl Sonic was considered to be, I want to say, like a mid-tier character. So I don't, like, yeah, do you think you would still play him if he was just like lower on the tier?
That's a good question. I would definitely. I kind of got a glimpse of what that would be like at the beginning of this game, because nobody really had faith in Sonic. He was considered to be mid-tier, you know, maybe even low tier. He was very hard to play at first, especially transitioning from Smash 4 to Ultimate. So I think I would. I definitely would. Like, I like challenges. Like, I like pushing myself to my limits, discovering things I'm capable of through hardship and, you know, things like that. So I think I would definitely try and still pick up Sonic and like make it work.
Yeah, I mean, that totally makes sense. And you were absolutely right. Kind of crazy how everyone just immediately dismissed Sonic going from Smash 4 to Ultimate. They're like, oh, he can't shoot out a spin dash, so of course he sucks. Since we're on the topic, what was your initial reaction from going from Smash 4 to Ultimate Sonic?
My initial reaction, I was like, man, spin dash is gone. Like, spin dash shield canceling is gone? What? I was shook. I was like, maybe. And I try to keep it calm, though, at the same time, because I remember everybody was freaking out about it. Everybody was like, oh my god, Sonic, like, he lost spin dash shield cancel. He's not going to be good anymore. He sucks now. The one thing that made him come. And I was like, okay, chill out. Like, that made him broken. That's not the only good thing he had. And then, I tried convincing people, like, well, maybe that's not too bad. Like, he still has different tools. And I even started playing Smash 4 Sonic without spin dash shield cancel. So every time I would spin or I would press B button, I would just let it go. Or maybe try like down air like halfway through. But down air was a lot worse back then. I was scared at first, but as I learned more about the game, I saw Sonic's other moves set, like other attacks, saw how they compared to his Smash 4's version. I was like, you know what? Maybe he's not that bad. Like, I saw potential.
I will say I am glad you stuck with him because I felt like it was odd with how like quickly people dismissed the character, because I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I actually feel like Sonic is like one of the characters that benefited from Ultimate's engine like the most, and that's why they kind of like, I feel like the devs realized that, and that's why they kind of toned down his spin dash and stuff, because he benefited so much from Ultimate.
I agree. I think spin dash shield cancel was still a thing in this game. Sonic would be the best character in the game, straight up, no question.
Yeah, it's funny because I was watching Smash Factor and someone actually asked me that, and I said the exact same thing. I think there's no way he would be the best, because that just, it gets rid of so much more of the guesswork at Sonic, like reaction-wise. So quite some time has passed since Ultimate has come out. How do you feel about Ultimate Sonic compared to Smash 4 Sonic? Like, do you like Ultimate Sonic more, or do you like him less?
I actually like Ultimate Sonic more, not because he's more fun to play, because I do miss a lot of like Smash 4 tech. We used to have this crazy thing which was called wave bounced spin dash shield cancel, and it was basically you could just run and you could just like drift all the way back with spin dash shield cancel, and then you can even like up smash out of shield. It opened up a whole plethora of options and movement options for Sonic, and also up air. I miss up air, but with all that being said, I prefer this version better because he's not as scary. Like, he actually forces us to think more. Like, back in Smash 4, a lot of people called me crazy because I thought Sonic was the best character in the game, even with Bayo and Cloud. I was like, he's just the most consistent character in the game, in my opinion. And I think the reason why like he always had that untapped potential was due to the fact that he was already that good without people having to like learn certain aspects of the game. Like, he did a lot of those things. Like, Sonic players never had to learn disadvantage. Neutral felt way too easy with him, among other things, right? So in this game, I like the fact that he forces you to actually think, to actually be good with him. Like, not anybody just can pick Sonic up and be like, okay, let me just get good results. And I also like homing attack in this game. Like, I like the homing attack setups and combos a lot more.
Some of the homing attack combos are crazy, especially like I don't even think people, like, most people don't even know that like you can actually like turn around and alters like how it alters like where you send them. So what you were saying about, I guess, Sonic players not being forced to play a specific way, it kind of reminded me of Smash 4 Bayo, because I'm sure you remember in when Bayonetta first came out, she was absolutely broken. Like, if she never got nerfed, she probably would have gotten banned. But then the thing happened where she got nerfed, and then all the Bayonetta players were forced to like actually learn more about the game and the character, and she was still ridiculous. So imagine if they knew what they knew back then.
I agree. I actually think Bayo is still pretty good in this game. Obviously, she's not broke and she's not the best character in the game by a lot, but I think Bayo, she kind of got that Sonic treatment in a sense. The only thing I would say kind of holds her back in this meta, or in this game, is the fact that the game's mechanic don't necessarily benefit her that much. Because I remember back then, like back when running tilts were announced, I don't know if you remember, like the fact that you could cancel your dashes into tilts and smash attacks, people thought like, oh my god, like it's gonna be so broken because you can just run up and down tilt with her. But it's like, Now you can also punish down tilt more consistently. Her things just don't work the same, you know. I feel like SDI is also a lot stronger in this game for her moves, but I do believe that at the end of the day, she's really good in the right hands.
No, I definitely agree. I mean, we've seen players like Bloom and Lima show that the character is still pretty ridiculous. So yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. So you're the best player in the Dominican Republic. Did you become the best during 4, or did it happen in Ultimate? And what was like the improvement process that you went through?
All right, so I actually became the best in 4 at around, I want to say late 2016. So for my third season that I took part in, I got first on the PR. First season I ever played in, it was sixth. I got sixth. Second season I got third, and third season I got first. And since then I've been the best, like since 2017 till now. Switching over to Ultimate, I've been the best. The process, as far as it goes, it's been wild. Like, the main reason why I even started playing Smash competitively was to beat a friend of mine, like an old friend of mine. We would always play back in the day, like back when we were like kids. By the time Smash 4 came out, I had never touched the game. I had seen it, but I was like, I'm not really interested. I was playing other stuff like Call of Duty, FIFA, GTA, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he invited me over to his house. He was like, yo, like, I got the new Smash game. We played. Long story short, he beat my ass. He destroyed me. He just destroyed me completely. And he was calling me like scrub, like, why are you rolling so much? And I'm like, all right. So I was like, all right, give me some time. So I bought a 3DS with Smash, and I started practicing on the 3DS. And eventually, I got better than him, and I started beating him. And then he kept showing me like the competitive scene. From there, I kind of was like, you know what? I kind of like this. So I started going to tournaments, and from there, like I said before, first season I got ranked 6th, second, third, and then first, and I just kept going and going. And the scene kind of died down as I kept winning tournaments. Though I don't know if that was also part of Smash 4 dying as a whole, but yeah. Now with Ultimate, actually, I think the first PR season ever for Ultimate, or the second, I'm not sure which one. Omar, the Snake player, he was actually number 1 because Snake coming back, he went back to using Snake. Nobody knew the matchup, and I was upset about it because I was like, man, I really hate Snake. So same thing, like I started learning the Snake matchup out of spite. And I got really good at it, and eventually I reclaimed my throne, and since then I haven't lost it.
Nice. It's funny because I feel like so many people's stories is the same when it comes to like getting to the scene. It's like, oh yeah, I got this friend, and then like I started beating him. It's like, oh well, you can't beat them or something like that. Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool and also funny because it just feels like there's so many similarities between how people get in. Your motivation to just like, you lost to Omar, you're like, okay, yeah, I don't want this to happen again. And then you just grind the Snake matchup. It's a good mindset because I feel like it's something that there's a good amount of people who wouldn't do that. Like they would just accept it, like, oh well, yeah, Sonic just lets her Snake, and then they just pick up a new character or something like that. But you're like, no, I want to learn this matchup.
Yeah, and it's funny you mentioned that because I think that nowadays, especially in this meta, there's a lot of people that are just like, like I lose to this character, I lost to this player, like let me just look up who beats this character instead of being like, okay, let me sit down and actually analyze why I'm losing to this player or a character. Like, is it maybe I'm making really bad decisions? Am I giving them 20 openings, And like actually sitting down and at least trying to like figure it out. Because I feel like nowadays people are too quick to give up on their character or a certain matchup and then just switch up like, okay, you know what, maybe I'll just switch. Which is, it's not a bad thing, but it can only bring you so many results short term. Like I feel like long term, it's better to just analyze your own play, your own character's strengths or flaws in comparison to your opponent's character's flaws and strengths, and then coming to a conclusion like, okay, this is the way I should be playing this.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Especially because I feel like in a lot of cases, people are too quick to blame their character when it's actually them. They're like, they are the person who is lacking in the specific tool they need to beat this character, and so they kind of hide it with the character who can do what they like better. But it's like not the actual character. So I have to bring this up. You're a very lame player, and I mean this in like the most respectful way. I think it's good to play lame. Like obviously we're trying to win, but yeah, you sometimes you don't approach. Time people out. So
yeah.
Okay, so my question is like, what is your thought process behind it? Because I've seen you play, And there are some matches where you literally just will zero death to your opponent 3 times. It's funny because I think you have the best combo game with Sonic, like the best combo / edge guarding game with Sonic. But then you're also one of the campiest. So yeah, what is your thought process regarding playing neutral with the character?
Okay, so there's a lot of variables that come into play when it comes to me deciding, oh, am I gonna camp? Am I gonna be aggressive? Am I gonna do this or that? But the main thing, like, to cut it short, it's mostly depending on who I'm up against. For example, Tweak, if I'm playing somebody like Tweak, like, I'm sure a lot of people are gonna disagree with me on this, but Tweak is actually one of the campiest players alive as well.
I agree.
Like,
I agree.
Okay,
I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Like when I play Tweak, I'm like I abuse the fact that yeah, he's campy, but I know he's not gonna react to this. So I'm like, okay, you're gonna camp me, but you're not gonna react to this. So I'm gonna pretend like I'm gonna camp. And then when you least expect it, I'm gonna get, like you said, I'm gonna go in, read his habits, and then get that one lead, and then he's gonna chase me for the rest of the game. And I'm exhausting their mental stamina. And like, it's not that I'm camping people. And another thing is, if I'm not that comfortable in a matchup, I will camp because I'm like, I don't know how to punish this thing, so I'm not gonna force a punish in case I miss and then I just die or whatever, or explode. Then I gotta play from behind in a matchup that I don't know. Like, I would much rather just play it safe, make them come to me, and then I'll figure it out slowly as the set goes on. But it's not me camping like, oh man, let me just camp because I want to make them suffer or this or that, unless it's somebody that camps themselves. So like, if I play the Buzz, when I played the Buzz at CEO, I knew exactly what was gonna happen. Like, I knew he was gonna try and camp me out, and he had a pretty solid lead for the most of the game one. The whole time I'm like, I know how you play. Like, I got it. Like, I studied the Buzz. I studied the other matchup, so I was like, I just need this one opening. Like, I'm gonna let you think you have it. The timer went down to like 2 minutes or something, and then I got that one opening I needed. I took his stock immediately. I just timed him out because of that reason, So
yeah,
it depends on who it is. Like, and the Buzz himself, like, I know he camps himself as well. So to me, it's also like a test of like, okay, let's see who has more patience. It's a test of patience. But for the most part, like, I would say that recently, especially, I haven't really been camping much because I'm focused now on creating more openings, because there's some people that just straight up won't, like, they're not gonna approach you if you don't approach either, which I think that's how it should go. Like, I know, I understand it's frustrating, but I feel like at the end of the day, if you're recklessly approaching somebody that's just camping you, it's kind of like banging your head against the wall. Like, you're just gonna get hit over and over and over again till you eventually lose the stock. So now that people are adapting to it and they are playing like a more non-interactive neutral themselves, either I do the same and I like actually stick to it, but even now I'm like, I don't really have to, so I kind of refrain from doing so. But I also want to like push myself and polish a playstyle that's more based on like openings, creating those openings and capitalizing on them.
Totally makes sense. So again, I think your combo game and just punish game is like phenomenal. Like, it's actually ridiculous. I agree with you, like, in terms of like the defensive aspect of the game. People hate to admit it, but like, I feel like Smash as a competitive fighting game is very defensive. It just is. It's a very, very defensive game, and there are some people who can put up this illusion that they're being aggressive when in actuality they're actually running away. They're just running away in your face. So yeah, I agree with you on that. Okay, so you mentioned exhausting their mental stamina, and for someone to say that, you must be very confident in your own mental stamina. What did you do to develop your level of mental stamina, or did you just naturally already have a very high one?
That's a great question. I actually, the way I developed it is mostly practicing. Like, I practice, playing like that in friendlies as well. But it didn't just come naturally to me. Like, okay.
Oh, sorry, I have to cut you off. Did you actually time out Mr. R in a friendly?
Yeah, I did. So that's one of the
wow.
That's one of the ways. That's one of the ways I practice it. I mean, if you don't practice it, you're not gonna pull it off in bracket.
That's true. That's true.
So I had to do it, especially since I had a Sheik the next day that I was gonna play, and that's what I practiced. But I got timed out, so I SD'd and stuff. It is what it is. But anyways, it didn't always come naturally to me. So like, if you look at any of my Smash 4 VODs, especially the ones from like when I traveled, I only went to Shine 2017 in Smash 4, but I was actually pretty aggressive. Like, matter of fact, I was known as the aggressive Sonic. Like, it was 6WX, and I was like, it was like after him, it was me. Like they would know me as, oh, he plays like 6WX, like he's also aggressive, using the fancy tech and this and that. And I hated camping. Like if you go on Twitter right now and you search like my tweets and you look up camp or aggressiveness, whatever, you will see that I have made tweets before saying, man, I really like I got timed out by X and X. I didn't camp. I gotta camp, but I hate camping. And it's just like insane to me because like now I'm like, you know what? If I gotta camp, I will camp you and I don't care. Yeah, like the main way I build that mental stamina, it's kind of like, it's mainly just paying attention to them. Like it takes a lot of work. It's not easy because I know it's like, sometimes you get that itch to approach. It's like, man, we've been playing footsies for a whole minute. Like, let's do something, But practicing it definitely helps. And also sticking to the game plan. Like, those are things that I write down. I'm like, if my opponent doesn't do this, like if I don't see this opening, if I don't see X or Y, Z done in neutral, or if they're not approaching either, then I'm not approaching either. We're gonna go to time, and that's okay. And I'm okay with that. And I gotta like constantly, whenever I think of like approaching or breaking that game plan, I just refocus and go, okay, no, I can't do this. I gotta just stick to Y and Z.
That is really, really smart. I guess I just want to bring up something because there's a lot of times when people they'll play friendlies, casual matches, and they won't play how they will in tournament. And that's just, what are you doing? Like, do you actually want to improve if you're not going to like actually practice the way you would want to play in tournament? Because if you're not doing it, like if you're not prepping yourself to play that way, then you're never going to actually play that way. No, I like that you said that because you brought up like notes a lot. So I'm guessing you write a lot of notes on like not just matchups but also players. I mean, obviously I don't want you to say any of your notes, but I guess how long would you say you go about doing notes compared to like actually like practicing matches?
I don't spend too much on notes. It depends on the player, really. Like, how complex is my opponent's game plan? How complex is their character? If it's like an easy, an opponent that's like one-dimensional and they just do the same thing over and over and they stick to the same characters, same matchups, same habits, it won't go for that long. But if it's somebody, for example, as complex as the Buzz, then it can take pretty long, especially with the variety of characters that he uses. So, for example, last time when I played him a double down for my notes, it took me about 3 hours on 2 different days, 2 different occasions to write down his notes, and so like 3 hours each. And even then I missed, like that was without Rosa, because I was not expecting him to bring Rosa back at all. So that was just solely on Min and Olimar that it took me 3 hours on 2 different days to write down his notes. But sometimes if it's also like a character that I'm already kind of familiar with, or a player that I'm familiar with, I'll just remember, like I'll think, okay, like I'll visualize myself playing against them based on previous information, and I'll be writing down notes like, okay, whenever whenever he's on a platform, he will drop off the right side of it and try to like attack center, for example, and I write it down, and then I write down what I can punish that with. And I think that's also a key thing, because many people I've seen in a lot of people's notes, the way they take notes is they write down what their opponent's gonna do and stuff, but they don't really write down what they should do. And it's like if you visualize those things, you're not really gonna visualize nor execute how to punish those things that you wrote down. So I think that's also huge.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense, especially like when it comes to positioning, because again, like someone will pick an option, but it's like how you position yourself to actually punish it. Like what is the answer to this? And also, wow, 3 hours, that is a lot. So was it just from analyzing like his sets that it took 3 hours, or was it just like sitting down and actually writing?
Okay, that was actually just sitting down and analyzing his sets, along with I want to point out as well that when I'm analyzing sets and I write down stuff, as I'm trying to come up with like counterplay to those things, I will have my game set up, like the Smash game just opened up, and I will try to like punish those things. I'll go to training mod and, for example, set Rosalina to like nair in place or whatever and try to like punish it. And then I'll write down, okay, punish whenever Rosalina nairs, blah, 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 punish with this or that.
Yeah, shout out to the training mod pack. That's a really, really good tool to have. I want to bring up your losers run at CEO because it was actually nuts. Because I think at one point you just like stop dropping games. I think it was the same thing at Smash Factor too, actually. Like, what happens? Do you just okay, so do you feel like in winners you kind of put like this unnecessary amount of pressure on yourself, and then once you lose, that pressure's gone?
Definitely. I feel like in winners, not just that, but also usually I walk into winners like not warmed up at all. So like for example at Smash Factor, the whole weekend I couldn't get any sleep for multiple reasons. The whole weekend I spent it trying to sleep. I couldn't do anything else. I had not eaten that day. I had not warmed up, and I did try to warm up, but then they called me up only to tell me, oh, you're after this one. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and warm up, and then I could only get like one game in. So it's a mixture. In CEO, it was a similar thing. Like when I played Toast, I had been out of the venue for like 3 hours. I went out with Yanni, Zamba, and a couple of people, just like just chill, like kind of take some time to recollect yourself. And when I went back to the venue, same thing. Like I played Dominator round 1, I think it was. I ISD'd. I was dropping combos. I was dropping this, dropping that, punishes, until eventually, I got to Toast. When I got to Toast, I felt a lot better. But like I wasn't even up 2-0. I got into my own head, and I think that's also like the main thing. I get into my head. I was like, okay, if I win this, I would only have to beat, I forgot who it was, but somebody that I usually always beat. So like no pressure. I just win. If I win, then that's good. And then I started thinking about like external stuff, like man, Wrath 3-0 Toast, so I gotta 3-0 him as well, because otherwise they're gonna be like, see, Wrath is better at this or that. And I just started thinking like a bunch of stuff that didn't really matter. And eventually, like reflected on my play, I started dropping combos, dropping punishes, ISD twice. And once I'm sent to losers, it's kind of like, okay, like everything that could have gone wrong did. So now I have nothing to lose. So I'm just gonna like do my thing, and I actually started focusing on like the game plans and stuff. I wrote them down. I said them out loud, in case I needed like to do so, to register them in my head, in my mind. I visualized myself playing according to the game plan, and I don't want to say that I take it more seriously when I'm in losers, but I do what I'm supposed to do in winners when I'm in losers. That being said, I think that from now on, I'm definitely just gonna like from the start try and keep that composure, that mentality that I show in losers, because going losers is not fun. Let me tell you, it's not fun.
Yeah, it's stressful. You're making it sound easy, but that's still hard, because a lot of people, they'll lose in winners, and then their mentality will just be shattered. They'll just be like, oh, I suck, I can't win anymore, etc., etc. Like, I have to win like X more matches now if I need to win the tournament. But it sounds like for you, it just like kind of wakes you up. You're kind of like, okay, now I have to I'm on my last life. I have to make this count.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's what it feels like, honestly. But more than that, it's also like okay, I think to myself, okay, why do I need to win again? And it's like, I don't really need to win. Yeah, I want to win, but I don't have to win. Let me just focus on like playing well. Let me focus on playing my game, playing to what I practiced, playing to the notes I wrote down, and then everything will slowly fall into place. Like when I was in losers at Smash Factor and CEO, mainly Smash Factor, I was not thinking about I gotta win one more set to top 8 or whatever, or if I lose now, I will get like this placing. I was just thinking about my opponent, my opponent's character, and my game plan against them. But that being said, you're right. Like people's mentalities do shatter when they get sent to losers. Mine was also like that at Smash Factor. At CEO, not so much, because luckily my coach was right there. So after I lost, I just told him like, hey, and then he told me like, no, and he kind of got me right back on track. But Smash Factor, it was kind of shattered, like it was rough. None of my Dominican friends that usually travel with me were there, so I didn't really have like somebody to fall back to. But that's when, like, for example, people like my girlfriend, like close people to me, come in. Like my girlfriend came in, she told me like it's okay, and she kind of like helped me deal with that. My friends as well, they all saw the game like from home, and then they messaged me, hey man, it's all good, like just get it through losers. So I think having a good support group is really important for that.
Yeah, especially because like I feel like it's so easy to get in your own head, and then you start taking yourself down. You kind of need someone to like oh no, like dude, relax, like it's simple, just chill.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is going to be the last question. Again, I feel like this is something I gotta bring up. So you made Sonic. He's a very hated character, and I feel like some of that hate unnecessarily gets put on you. I guess my question is, hopefully it hasn't, but do you feel like that hate that people have been giving you has been like affecting you negatively, or do you think it feels you in like like makes you play better?
Ooh, okay. So it's funny you asked that question because it kind of goes hand in hand with the camping question. So I would say that at first it kind of did affect me negatively. Not so much because I was already used to like seeing people like Wrath, who was pretty close to me at the time, get hate. 6WX himself would get hate. Like people hate Sonic, so they see Sonic, they don't understand what's going on. They're like, what, top players hate Sonic, so they're gonna hate Sonic too. But to me personally, I try not to let it get to me. It doesn't really get to me to the point of I'm like, damn, maybe they're right or like whatever. But it gets to me in a sense of like, wow, like seriously, like I just think it's really, really, really dumb. They're like the way they think and their mentality. But at the same time, I also feel bad for them because I feel like hate is a very strong feeling, and it comes from a place of like a very dark place. I just ignore, really. I just try to ignore. I used to just clap back at them, make fun of him or whatever, but now it's kind of like, like it is what it is. That being said, it's definitely toned down by a lot compared to when I first started like popping off. Like nowadays, I would say the support is definitely a lot louder than the hate.
That's fantastic to hear, especially because, dude, like just from listening to this interview, it's like very clear that you're like a very good player. You're very smart. Like, it's not like you got to like the level you're at by mistake, like you're really good, you're really smart, you know exactly like what you're doing. You took the steps to improve, and then you're just doing it. Like, yeah, your character kind of has a very strong defensive capability, but you're just utilizing it the best you can. Like, it's not something
Right.
They should be mad at you for doing. Like, be mad at the dev team, be mad at the actual character, but not you.
I think also, I don't know if it's due to the fact that this game's audience is a lot younger, like say for example compared to like Smash 4's audience. The main thing, like I can understand hating a character, maybe even hating a player coming from someone that used to play sports like football, soccer. But I would say like the thing that annoys me and kind of like shocks me is how people are just so quick to direct that hate towards a person like directly, because like me for example, like I don't like playing against a lot of people in this game, or a lot of characters, but I'm not gonna just tell them like to their faces like, hey man, like you suck, you're boring or whatever. Like it's one of those things where it's kind of like you just gotta accept like, yeah, okay, maybe this or that, but I'll keep it to myself, and I'll never like mix it up with the person. It's like, like for example, Meister is a really good friend of mine. Like he's chill. I hate how he plays though. Like I hate playing against him because of the way he plays.
Yeah.
And the character he plays.
Yeah.
but I'll never let that get in the way, of how he is as a person and how we are like as individuals, right? And I think that's the biggest thing. Like I made a tweet about it a couple months ago, and it was about how it was shocking to me how even top players that have already established themselves since Brawl /4 get hate to this day. And I'm just like, wow, like it made me feel better in the sense of, okay, you're not the only one, but it also made me see like, damn, like do these people even like the game? Why are they still watching? It made me like ask so many questions, but like I don't really understand.
There's a lot of variables because not every individual is the same, but I think for the most part, people love to hate. As sad as that is, people just love to hate. And yeah. The best thing you can do is just do what you've been doing. Just keep succeeding. They'll just sit in their room and hate even more. But that's all they can do, really. But yeah, no, dude, it was a pleasure talking to you. Like, you're very, very well spoken. I really appreciated this interview, man.
Thank you for having me, man.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
So for the people who want to follow you, where can they follow you at? Like Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, etc.
If you want to follow me at Ultimate Sonix on Twitter, and on Twitch at SonixSC.
Did you want to play anything else, or
that's it, really?
Okay, no, that's cool. It's cool.
Follow LarryLurr on Twitter and Twitch.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, again, an absolute pleasure. I will see you at SmashCon.